Boy, listen to that weird sound.
The Manta Ray is a most unusual flying vehicle. It has been seen by hundreds of people living in or skywatching in the Wallkill River Valley from Williamsport, Pennsylvania in early 1992, then near Pine Island to the northeast, near Walden, Goshen, Pine Bush in Orange County, New York, East Vales Gate along the Hudson River, and later in 2003 near Salt Point, which is east of the Hudson River and northeast of Poughkeepsie, New York. After 1997, the activity appears to have moved to Long Island, as reported by Cheryl Costa, journalist for the Syracuse New Times. The pattern of sightings has been circumscribed as the UFO corridor, shown here on an infrared satellite map of New England. The Manta Ray has been variously described as a boomerang, wing, diamond, and sometimes even as a triangle. It is always stealth black. My 23 sightings of this craft and collection of witness reports indicate that this vehicle is capable of changing shape. One witness on West Searsville Road described it as morphing over her head from a diamond shape to a triangle by retracting its tail. Ellen Crystall and I have captured it on video, morphing its nose and shifting its lights around. What conventional aircraft can move its lights from top to bottom of its fuselage and present multicolored lights in unconventional locations on its unfamiliar shape, in defiance of FAA regulations? And perhaps most important, where does this craft hide during the day? It clearly does not land at any military or commercial airport, or it would have been described in Jane's 360 magazine. ET enthusiasts would say it goes back into space, but there is evidence to suggest that it hides underground or underwater at the bottom of some lakes. During my 11 years of investigation, I witnessed and recorded on film, video, and audio 23 sightings of the Manta Ray. You might say I was lucky if the Manta Ray were a conventional aircraft flying to and from airports in the region. But the Manta Ray sought me out and came looking for me on numerous occasions. Would conventional pilots or even military pilots do that without orders? What is the purpose of these craft and who built them? Answering these questions was part of my incentive to do so much work without pay, other than the reward of discovery. In my webpage, The Experiment, at the link provided, John Macedo Jr. and I documented its ability to present two completely different images to witnesses and cameras standing next to one another, demonstrating that it is in effect a huge flying projection platform that can morph and deceive multiple witnesses on the ground by projecting different images to different people. It can project holographic images thousands of feet away, as it did near Red Mills Road in Pine Bush on 17 July 1996. The image shows a huge display of green light coming from the Manta Ray, which was positioned just to the left of the image, and a green, round, Greek-like temple just above a field of corn and below a golden light of another UFO. When the earliest sightings of the Manta Ray occurred on February 1992, it was described as a boomerang because the tail apparently was either retracted or there were no lights at the end of the tail, which can be turned on and off during a sighting. During my sighting with Billy McNamara on 20 August 2003 near Salt Point, New York, as soon as I said there was no tail light, a tail light appeared on camera. You can watch this amazing video on YouTube under the name of Salt Point Manta. Dr. Samuel Greco, who investigated the Pennsylvania Williamsport wave and published his results with Stan Gordon in the MUFON UFO Journal number 290 of June 1992, states under aircraft or UFO ? This wave of sightings stimulates the human mind to try to determine what actually occurred on the evening of February 5, 1992. He reports that almost 77% of the UFOs described by witnesses during this February flap were boomerang-shaped, and that they were very large, traveled slowly, and could stop and hover. There were a great number of lights, and some were frequently larger than any seen on conventional aircraft. Some witnesses reported seeing them more than once in the different area of the same night, and that they could vanish without a trace. But it is the sounds that the Manta Ray makes which are most telling and indicate that this technology is unlike anything you will find parked on a public tarmac.
Boy, you guys got good sound here. Lots of turbine sound. You're doing the same thing you did before.
During one flyover on 29 September 1995, going silent between broadcasts. Apparently, the pilot had to dial up a different sound on his speakers. As you are listening to these sounds and watching images from time exposures and video, please ask yourself this question. Who would spend the time and money to entertain people on the ground at night and change flight paths in order to fly directly over skywatchers? Who would try to deceive those people into believing that all they were seeing were conventional aircraft? Perhaps Dr. Ellen Crystall is right. This is an alien invasion, but it was clearly not silent, as my recordings will demonstrate. Either that, or someone is having fun at taxpayer expense, fooling gullible people standing on country roads at night, patiently looking at the sky, waiting for something to happen. And occasionally something did come along to get their attention. The geographic distribution of the 6 sightings discussed here is shown in the Google map, along with 3 locations of other sightings not discussed in detail here. The 3 yellow stick pins represent locations for the 6 cases with audio data, and the 3 green stick pins represent other Manta sightings. This map is provided to show the concentration of sightings near Pine Bush. A map of the UFO hotspot, also between Pine Bush, Walden, and Montgomery, New York, is shown to give more precise locations where sightings of the Manta Ray were made. The numbers represent the years next to red dots for the locations of sound and video recordings, with the same multiple dates indicated when there was more than one sighting at that particular locality. One has to ask, since sightings have occurred all across New York into Pennsylvania, where the performances by this flying projection platform in the Pine Bush area because skywatchers chose that area to skywatch? Or is that concentration of aerial activity for other reasons? Whenever I went out into the field and set up my camera, this UFO would come to me and make its presence known. Why? I have a website concerning how I was shot and implanted with a tracking device on 18 June 1992, just as I began my 24 square mile magnetic survey of the valley. So was that tracking technology ours or theirs? They apparently knew where I was and could easily find me when I went out into the field. The same is true for Dr. Ellen Crystall, who says in her book that they followed her around the same way. No known human organization or Air Force has an interest in entertaining civilians on the ground, with the possible exception of the CIA with its Stormville pilot flights in formation, created for the purpose of providing plausible denial to counter public fears that Earth was experiencing an alien invasion. Philip Imbrogno, in his book Contact of the Fifth Kind, published in 1997, provides information from an informant who told him that the nearly silent Stormville flights of special, slow-flying airplanes outfitted with lights was paid for by the CIA in order to divert attention from the Westchester Wing, Boomerang, or Black Manta, which witnesses say varied from 100 feet to 600 feet across. So how big was the Manta Ray? Perhaps this craft comes in various sizes, or perhaps it grows up in size with age, which would imply a transformer type of technology.
I hear a sound, but this is big.
Oh, you see the landing light.
Not enough lights on this thing. Oh, you have to move. That's alien. No lights underneath. They're all at the outer edges. Nice sound. Jeez. Oh, sure. Oh, going out of sight.
Geez, looks like a congregation, whatever they are.
Yeah, that's, what the hell? What is going on there?
I've never seen this before.
There's 4, I got all 4 in the video. You know, this is awfully big not to hear sound now.
And this low to the ground.
Oh boy. Yeah, this is shipped. I mean, a C5 isn't going to bank like that. The hell? Oh, look at this. The hell?
Holy shit.
The hell is that? Now, that's solid. Where the hell
is that?
That's solid underneath.
Yeah. That thing came right towards us and just turned away.
See, it came to us and it turned. No, well, not even a C5. The C5, we would still be able to see wings and fuselage.
I remember we've seen C5s and you'd hear them 5 miles away.
Yeah.
We didn't hear.
See, that came to us and turned at us.
But it doesn't look like a jet. Wait a minute. This is no jet. I'm looking through here. It's just like, my God, it's a train. What the? Boy, you guys got good sound here. Lots of turbine sound. You're doing the same thing you did before. Why can't I start my start of exposure, end of exposure? But it doesn't look like a jet. Wait a minute. This is no jet. I'm looking through here. It's just like, my God. What the? Boy, you guys got good sound here. Lots of turbine sound. But it doesn't look like a jet. Wait a minute. This is no jet. I'm looking through here. It's just like, my God. What the? Boy, you guys got good sound here. Lots of turbine sound. Boy, listen to that weird sound.
There's another craft, 2:42 a.m. rising up from the direction of Stewart. Red and white strobing lights flashing repeatedly many times, much more often than normal. And it's this time traveling. Oh, it just changed its lights, turned on white lights, and here it's coming straight at us. Oh my goodness. It's banking right at us again, coming straight at us. Well, red strobing light in the center, and it's gone silent again. Now here it comes, same path, straight up over the ridge.
Okay, we got a plane or a set of lights coming from the northwest to the southeast, and it's moving real fast. Whatever this is in the flashing is very... Yeah, this is a conventional jet, but it's got a strange set of strobes on it around the central midline as well as on the wingtips. It's different. Why is it so different? Whoa! Just turned on searchlights. What the hell?
Searchlights?
Yeah, pointing down.
They're looking for you.
That's the damn Manta Ray. That's the configuration of the Manta Ray. Making a jet-like sound. Holy shit.
Triangular type shape?
The diamond shape. You won't believe what this damn thing did when it flew over me.
What did it do?
It turned on its outer lights, searchlights on the wing, out where the wings would be, and pointed them down at me. It sounds like a jet.
That thing didn't look nearly as weird as the other one, Bruce.
No, this is not as weird. I'm going to zoom out. It seems to be going in a direction towards Stewart, whatever this thing is. This is probably just conventional, and it's, you know, just might have some strange lights on it. But, when those outer lights brightened, they produced beams, and the beams were pointing down at first and then tilted and rotated forward. The conventional plane does not do that. Yep. Well, wait a minute. We got a light at the tail, way out in the back. Now that makes me suspicious. But notice as the lights are flashing, it's not illuminating the tail. The tail light is not flashing. So that... Oh, that's typical sound of the Manta Ray.
Well, that sounds like a
Well, that's exactly what the Manta Ray does. I have a perfect copy of this. Yeah, that is the Manta Ray. And it makes a sound like that. Yeah, that is the Manta Ray.